A designated marksman rifle is the weapon used by soldiers in the designated marksman role. The DMRs role fills the gap between a regular infantryman and a sniper, and DMRs have been developed with this middle ground in mind. These rifles have to be effective, in terms of accuracy and terminal ballistics, at ranges exceeding those of ordinary assault rifles and battle rifles, but do not require the extended range of a dedicated sniper rifle. DMRs, however, often share some basic characteristics with sniper rifles and difference to the weapons carried by others in the DMRs unit. DMRs may have an attached telescopic sight, quickly deployed stabilizing bipod to allow optimized accuracy and low recoil in temporarily fixed situations, or an adjustable stock. They will, though, generally retain semi-automatic firing capability and a larger magazine capacity of 10, 20, or 30 rounds depending on the firearm in question. Comparison to sniper rifles, battle rifles, and assault rifles. Most designated marksman rifles are based on an assault rifle that is currently issued by a nation's military, or on a battle rifle that was formerly issued. A battle rifle is a semi-automatic or full-automatic rifle that fires 7.62 mm NATO or similar full-power rounds. Classic examples include the M14, FNFAL, AR-10 and Heckler & Koch G3. These rifles were largely replaced by assault rifles firing the 5.56 mm NATO cartridge during the 1980s and 1990s. Some nations have also built rifles that were designed for the designated marksman from the ground up. Sights. All designated marksman rifles will have some type of optical sight with a higher magnification level than the standard issue rifle. For example, the DMR issued to the United States Army is fitted with a Attribution 4XACOG, while the standard issue M4 carbine is equipped with an unmagnified aim-point Comp M2 or Comp M4. Sometimes, the sighting system will be the only difference between the standard rifle and the designated marksman rifle, as is the case with the F-88 DMR issued to the Australian Army. Sniper rifles often have even greater magnification than designated marksman rifles. For example, the M110 SASS used by the United States Army is equipped with a Leupold 3.5-10x variable power scope. However, some designated marksman rifles, such as the Mk12 Special Purpose Rifle or the USMC Squad Advanced Marksman Rifle, are fitted with scopes with similar magnification. Barrels. In some cases, the designated marksman rifle will have a longer barrel than the standard issued rifle. However, this is not universally true. In fact, the M16A4 rifle is still standard issued to the United States Marine Corps. The barrel on the Mk12 Special Purpose Rifle, the current rifle used by squad-designated marksmen in the USMC, is only 18 inches long, 2 inches shorter than the barrel on the standard rifle. Also, some rifles, such as the F-88S Austere, have a barrel that is the same length as the standard service rifle. The FD200 has an Acarise barrel, also found on designated marksman rifles. Most sniper rifles, such as the Accuracy International Arctic Warfare, have a barrel with a length of 24 inches or greater. Only the SVD and similar designated marksman rifles have a barrel of this length. The designated marksman rifles based on the M14 have barrels 18 to 22 inches long. Ammunition. In most cases, a designated marksman rifle will share the caliber and possibly even the ammunition type used by standard issue rifles. DM rifles may be issued with standard ball ammunition, or special match-grade loads, such as 7.62 mm NATO M118L, a sniper round in the U.S. military. Sniper rifles are deployed with match-grade ammunition in order to take advantage of their full effective range and accuracy potential. In the U.S. military, designated marksman rifles chambered for 5.56 mm NATO have available the 77-grain match-grade Mk262 Mod 0/1 cartridge that enhances range to roughly 700 meters. Action. All designated marksman rifles in use today use a semi-automatic action, with some also being able to fire in full automatic mode. Some sniper rifles are semi-automatic, though the vast majority are bolt-action. Designated marksman rifles in service by nation: Australia, F-88S Austere 5.56 NATO standard issue rifle, fitted with an enhanced optic, is issued to one rifleman in each fireteam in the Australian Army. AR-15 based, ESA-25. 7.62mm NATO sniper rifle is often used to provide fire support. HK-417. 7.62mm NATO gas piston battle rifle, interim F-88S replacement for Afghanistan deployments. Mk-14 enhanced battle rifle. 7.62mm NATO rifle is in limited service. Austria, the Steyr AUG-BAR-T, is a longer, heavier-barreled version of the Steyr AUG designed for use as a designated marksman rifle that can be fitted with a variety of optical sights. Canada, the Canadian Forces issue the C7CT and C8CT designated marksman rifles, which are based on the C7 and C8 rifle. They also use the AR-10T. Chile, the FD-200 is a variant of the SIG-542 with an Acarise barrel, sniper stock and bipod. France, the FAMASG-2 Sniper is a designated marksman rifle fielded by the French Army. It is based on the FAMASG-2. Germany, the German Army uses the G3A3ZF DMR, a modified version of the Heckler & Koch G3 battle rifle, as a designated marksman rifle and recently introduced the G28. The Heckler & Koch HK-417 is chambered for 7.62mm NATO and has been adopted by several nations for use as a designated marksman rifle. Hungary, the SVD is the main designated marksman rifle for the Hungarian Armed Forces. Hungary manufactures the bullpup-designed Tsar copyright P sniper rifle chambered for 7.62x51mm NATO. Hungarian Special Forces uses also the M24 sniper weapons system. Hungarian Armed Forces designed the anti-material sniper weapons family called GPOD. India, the SVD is the designated DMR for the Indian Army. Different variants of the INSAS family of weapons modified with scopes and other tactical upgrades are used as DMRs as well. The IMI Tavor TAR-21 and the IMI Galil chambered for the 7.62 NATO round are issued to units of the Special Forces of India as a designated marksman rifle. Indonesia, the Pindad SS-2V4 is a designated marksman rifle said to be used by the Indonesian Special Forces. It is based on the Pindad SS-2, with a lengthened barrel and a telescopic scope mounted on a Picatinny rail. Iraq, the Tabike is an adaptation of the RPK machine gun used as a designated marksman rifle by the Iraqi Army. It is chambered for 7.62x39mm. Israel, the Israel Defense Forces formerly used the Galatz as a designated marksman rifle. The Galatz is a variant of the Galil assault rifle chambered for 7.62mm NATO. The M4A1 is used as a marksman rifle, equipped with Harris bipod and Trijukin ACOG telescopic sights. The Star-21 Tavor is a variant of the Tavor assault rifle used as a designated marksman rifle by the Israeli Defense Forces. It is fitted with a Picatinny rail that allows for the attachment of various optical sights and a bipod. Japan, the Hauer Type 64 is a marksman rifle. Norway, HK-417. 7.62mm NATO gas piston battle rifle. People's Republic of China, the QBU-88 is a designated marksman rifle intended for aimed semi-automatic fire at ranges beyond the capabilities of standard infantry assault rifles. Philippines, the Philippine Marine Scout snipers developed and use the Marine Scout sniper rifle, a derivative of the M16 rifle. The Philippine Army uses the ESA-25 as marksman rifle. Portugal, the Portuguese Army uses the Heckler & Koch G3 as a marksman rifle. Romania, the PSL is a purpose-built designated marksman rifle chambered for 7.62x54mm based on a modified Kalashnikov action. It is similar in appearance to the SVD, though the two rifles share little in common. Russia, The SVD was the first rifle designed from the outset as what is now known as a designated marksman rifle. The Dragunov SVU is a bullpup variant of the SVD rifle. South Africa, Accurized former standard service South African Defence Force R1 rifles are used by the South African Army as designated marksman rifles. Being phased out in favour of the newer 4 DMR modified rifle being introduced at section level. Scoped and Accurized Vector R4 rifles are used as designated marksman rifles by soldiers of the South African Army. Switzerland. The Swiss Armed Forces used the standard issue SIG SG550 with a Kern 4x24 telescopic sight as a marksman rifle. SIG 716 DMR Gen 2 replacing SG 550. United Kingdom, L129A1. A 7.62 NATO, 16 barrel variant of the SA-25 developed by Lewis Machine and Tool Company has been procured for use in Afghanistan. A 6x Power ACOG is the standard issue sight. The L86A2 LSW is chambered for 5.56 mm. NATO was originally fielded as a section LMG, but was later repurposed as a designated marksman rifle. United States, the M14 rifle has formed the basis of several designated marksman rifles used by the United States military. Mk14 Enhanced Battle Rifle, used by the United States Army and Navy SEALs. M14SE Crazy Horse, used by the 101st Airborne Division and the 2nd Infantry Division of the U.S. Army. M39 Enhanced Marksman Rifle, used by the United States Marine Corps, replacing the United States Marine Corps designated marksman rifle. The M16 rifle has formed the basis of several designated marksman rifles used by the United States military. Cold Model 655 and 656, never standardized. Predecessor to other M16-based designated marksman rifles. SDMR, used by the United States Army in limited numbers, SAMR, used by the United States Marine Corps. Replaced by the Mk12 Special Purpose Rifle, Mk12 Special Purpose Rifle, used by the United States Navy SEALs, Rangers. Replacing the SAMR and United States Marine Corps Service. SA-25 Mk11, used by the United States Marine Corps, United States Navy SEALs, and the United States Army. Replaced by the SSR Mk20. M110 semi-automatic sniper system used by the United States Army and United States Marine Corps replacing some M39 and all SA-25 Mk11. The Heckler & Koch HK417 invariant sniper has been adopted by Delta Force of the United States Army and SEAL Teams 6 of the United States Navy for use as a designated marksman rifle. The FN SCAR invariant sniper support rifle Mk20 Mod 0 has been adopted by all branches of USACM replacing the SA-25 Mk11. Yugoslavia. The Zastava M76 is a designated marksman rifle based on a modified Kalashnikov action. It is chambered for 7.92x57 It has also been chambered in 7.62A, 51 NATO and 7.62A, 54R. Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. The Zastava M91 is a purpose-built designated marksman rifle based on a modified Kalashnikov action and chambered for 7.62x54 References. See also, assault rifle, battle rifle, sniper rifle.